what country was he in? Text me and let me know which, where he was at. 'Cause I mean, I got long ago. I didn't know his degree was in Scotland. You know, that long. All right, well, thank you for letting me know, man. I gotta jump on this. Hey, when is this thing Anthony's talking about?
This one right here,
What is it, 996?
County Museum Corporation.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, yes,
He
that's.
wants it passed?
Yeah.
No, no, it's on the agenda.
So is it on the agenda?
996.
Mr. Chair?
Yes. Okay. Do I have any guests?
Yes, for 803.
Okay. Eight oh three. All right. Good afternoon. Today is Monday, September 15th, 2 p.m. This committee of Finance, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion is called to order. Mr. Clerk, or Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Griffin,
Here.
Coleman,
Present.
Bishop,
Here.
Manuel, Arizona, Casey,
Present.
Valencia, Santana, Spencer.
Present.
Mr. Chairman, you have four.
Thank you. We're going to call up the Public Parks. I believe Ms. Porch, Commissioner Porch is going to represent because Director Nichols is unable to be here today. So this is ordinance number 803-2025 by Council Members McCormick, Bishop, and Griffin. By Departmental request, an emergency ordinance authorizing the Directors of Parks and Recreation and Port Control to enter into an amendment to the existing lease agreement with the Board of Park Commissioners for the Cleveland Metropolitan Park District for Rivergate Park to add additional city-owned property to the lease premises. Director, and I know you have our guests on the table, please proceed. I'm sorry, Chairman. We've been having some technical issues, so I do want to let all the council members know. Channel 20 is going to be having a camera here because there are some technical issues with our feed that go directly from here to here. So that's why the camera is here today. Commissioner Porch, you want to please proceed?
Sure. Good morning, council members. I have lovely will stay here. She's going to speak on this piece.
Okay. Ms. DeGenero?
Thank you. I'm Susie Antigenaro, Commissioner of Real Estate, and I have with me Sean McDermott, the Chief Planning and Design Officer from Cleveland Metro Parks, to answer any questions. The ordinance authorizes a lease amendment to the Riverdale Park lease with Cleveland Metro Parks to add city property in the westerly edge of the Columbus Road Peninsula for construction and maintenance of a multi-purpose path and other improvements, including signage and landscaping. Rivergate Park is a 2.8-acre park on the Cuyahoga River at the southern end of the Columbus Road Peninsula. It's west of the Columbus Road Lift Bridge, west of Park Crane Park, and near Merwinsburg. A portion of the park is city property. Most of it is Metro Parks owned, but there's a 0.87-acre piece that's city property. And so back in 2014, the city entered into this lease with Metro Parks for 99 years for the city portion. The lease was amended twice, once in July of 2015 and once in February of 2016 to add additional land and to add a trail connection to the Lake Lake Trail, which is nearby. And then this third amendment would add land on the westerly edge of the peninsula for the path, which will connect Rivergate Park with Heritage Park and Settlers Lake.
All right. Anything else to add?
So, thank you.
Okay. This is in, was heard in Municipal Services, Councilman Bishop.
Mr. President, we vetted this morning, fully recommend pass.
Thank you. Councilman Porter, this is in,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, I want to appreciate the team at the table here for the hard work on this. Another step, Chair, to bring people to their waterfront. This is People's Waterfront, and another great step forward for Metro Parks and the city to bring folks to their own waterfront. So, really excited. Just a quick question on this, Chair, to the Commissioner. Is this where the trucks was parked? Is this like that? Where is this? Is this the truck storage area?
You need, through the chair, Councilman McCormick, the boat trailer storage.
Yeah, like this-
Yeah.
Right, okay. And then is the city still own this or Metro Parks?
We own, it's 3 parcels, they actually,
Because I remember like 5 years ago, we looked at renewal to the lessee, we didn't do that because, so,
that's right, through the chairs of the Councilman, unless you did not want to release.
Right.
It's 3 separate parcels. Metro Parks is just leasing a portion of it, just like the 15
Got it.
feet right on the western edge for the trail.
so,
Balance
oh, sorry.
will remain with, just not part of the lease with the city.
Okay, so through the chair to the commissioner, is there a reason we're not leasing a little parcel to Metro Parks?
Through the chair of the council, we just kind of wanted to see how plans unfold. As you know, being the Metro Parks has recently released an RFP for
Right.
other development on the peninsula. And we just kind of wanted to start with this, get the trail built, see how things go, and then it's, we may be open to that. Just
Okay.
depending.
Okay, I would just say, to me, given the Metro Parks, I believe, that with the river, it's always hard to be looking northwest, so I'll just say north of here. Chairman, to the team at the table, Metro Parks owns all that, is that correct? Chair, to Commissioner, what did you say?
Chief and.
Chair, the chief.
Thank you to the chair, Councilman McCormick. Yes, we own property immediately running to.
Okay, so I would just say, Mr. Chairman, to the team here, obviously, I think the highest and best use for this is park space, or some sort of whatever that might look like. And so I would just encourage the city to continue to work with a great client of our land or landowner that creates some of their own land. So I would just hope that, and I know we will, but I would just hope that we continue to work with them on the rest of this land, because it makes sense to me for the Metro Parks to control it. But that's just my 2 cents. That's all, Chair.
thank you. Seeing no other questions, ordinance number 803-2025 stands approved. Please sign on. Thank you so much. Next one is ordinance number 990-2025 by Councilmembers Bishop and Griffin by departmental request. An emergency ordinance authorizing the Director of Parks and Recreation to apply for and accept a grant from Cleveland Guardians charities for the baseball and softball summer youth program. Director and Commissioner.
Good morning, Chairman, body. This grant of $8,000 is for the equipment and supplies for the entire baseball, softball program in the Division of Recreation. Any excess funds after we purchase those items goes to the repair of baseball fields.
All right, thank you. So just a couple of questions. You control, or who controls the actual maintenance of the ball fields? Is that not capital, that is actually, you guys control the maintenance of that? Or parks?
To the chair, yes, the Division of Park Maintenance controls the maintenance and the upkeep of it.
Okay. How do you make those determinations? Because you guys know that I frequent a lot of the fields, and a couple of the fields were in tough conditions this year. Just trying to make sure I understand, how do you maintain or drag them, or when do you make those determinations on how you upkeep those fields?
So due to capacity, we do it by permits. So we try to make sure that all the permitted fields are up for play when the time comes.
Okay,
So we do the best we can throughout the season as well. Right now, we're focused on restructuring, redirecting our crews for better maintenance upkeep for the following season.
and who runs the league? Is it Tim Will still, who is the person director?
Through the chair, Marion Fields, my Deputy Commissioner of Program, operates the leagues.
Okay. Okay. And just out of curiosity, what is your policy whenever it comes to heat or storm or that you guys call games? Is there a makeup policy? How does that?
Through the chair, to the body, anytime that there's an emergency situation with heat index in the city of Cleveland, we cancel all external games. We move the kids inside to recreation facilities.
I think it would be good to make sure that everybody understands that clearly, because I know that a couple of times I had to explain to irate parents, you know, hey, that's for the safety of children. And then they're fussing at coaches and any city official they can identify with, like, there's a reason we have to make sure we're protecting children, but they don't always know that policy. So I don't know if there's any league orientation, but it'd be good for the parents to have some jumping on me when I'm
Chair, we send out notifications to all of the teams when we cancel games, and as well, I receive those same calls from parents saying why.
okay. But I just think that most parents will want to care on the side of protecting their children, but, you know, some of these parents are more concerned with their child being embarrassed sometimes than just trying to make sure that they're safe. So I just want to make sure that we got clearly communicated. Any questions, Councilman Mike Melissa? But before I go to Councilman Mike Melissa, Councilman Bishop, if you have any comments, I'll start with the chair.
Mr. President, we, for this morning, we represent the best.
Thank you. Councilman Mike Melissa.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman, Monica Collins, for the commissioner, both commissioners. My question is this, just for your thoughts, and you know, what can we do to spur or entice more baseball in the city? I mean, I can remember that we had baseball all over the place. We had actual little leagues here that were recognized by the international programs. That has all gone by the wayside. I'm trying to pick your brains because you folks have been around, and I want to say I thank both of you for your dedicated service and for trying to do what you can with the dollars that you have available to you. Any thoughts, ideas?
Through the chair to the councilman, we work closely with the Guardians.
Yeah.
So we're in the schools recruiting, we're also calling parent meetings to let them know the value of baseball. We do know that it's a dying sport in the city of Cleveland. So there's a lot of efforts to get kids back engaged in baseball.
Yeah, I built those 5 diamonds at Humphrey today, Humphrey Sports Complex, and they were packed at one time. And now only the St. Joe's is utilizing one of the diamonds. Colony doesn't even have a baseball team anymore. So, and I'm not very clear how many other CMS high schools even have baseball teams anymore. So I'm just wondering, again, I'm here to be supportive. I think we've got to figure out how to get our kids more involved in extracurricular activities and programs. That's the way to keep them off the street. That's what kept me off the street. And again, just to say thank you and to the Commissioner Porch. I know you have a great many challenges. I'm hoping that going into the end of this summer season, as we put together the budget, I hope you would really let us know what do you think you need from the standpoint of staff and equipment. I'm convinced I don't believe you have enough staff, and I don't believe you have enough equipment. That's my observation. So, and I want to know, I think all of us want to know, how do we focus more on quality of life issues and those programs that are critical for our neighborhoods. So I'm looking forward to that discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. And I also want to follow up my colleagues' comments that I really appreciate all the work you guys do for recreation. The Commissioner, Mr. Terry, I often tell you about, recreation is what saved us. So I appreciate the work all you guys do. Any other questions regarding 990-2025? Seeing other questions for this number 990-2025.
Thank you.
Just one miscellaneous. I would like to reach out and talk to you former Cavaliers player Rudy Gibson reached out to me and has a great program and he would like to try to see if he can integrate that aspect of that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right. Next one is ordinance number 991-2025 by Council Members Bishop and Griffin by Department of Request an emergency ordinance authorizing the Director of Parks and Recreation to apply for and accept a grant from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, Division of Forestry for the ODNR State Urban Forestry Resilient Grant to perform young tree planting. Director, welcome.
Hi.
I got Director, is Director T. Chief T. I'm sorry. Because it's
Yeah, sorry. I'm not familiar with this. I'm not familiar with this legislation.
You good? Okay.
Okay.
Looks good.
Yeah.
So we talked through this morning, to the chair of the donation for the young tree training. And if you have any questions about it, I can answer. It's for the young trees. We train them up so that we can have the people out there taking care of them, just for money more funds available for that to plant the trees and to prune them. I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay, Ms. T, what did you have any comment?
Yeah, I would add to that this is just for young trees. The most critical time of a tree is in its first 5 years of growth, and this is a grant to help prune and to prune those so that it grows in the proper direction. It really gives it an opportunity. It's like an opportunity to thrive later on. So this is something that we haven't had in the past. We usually plant a tree and then forget about it. This gives it a little bit more opportunity to survive the first 5 years.
Thank you. Councilman Bishop, and then I'll come back to Councilman Wilson.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we fully vetted this morning and fully recommend it for passage.
Thank you. Councilman Felicity.
Yes, sir, thank you. Mr. Chairman, all my colleagues, the Director of T, Chief T, wanted to Commissioner. I'm not clear, who's going to do the work?
So we have funding deals, so our crews and we're going to contract it out.
Okay, so you're going to, and this will be, again, across the entire city?
Yes.
Okay. And do you think 48,000 is enough to do that?
So we vetted it out, Manager Kip and Director Nichols vetted it out, and they seem to be pretty sure that this is something else.
Okay, because that's 2,000 trees, estimated to be 2,000 trees you're going to trim. And so, okay, because I support that totally, because part of my historical perspective is here, you plant trees and you never touch them. And then you come across, and some of those trees might be dead.
Yes.
And then some of those trees need to be properly and adequately trimmed. So what do we do with the trees that we come across that are dead?
So we're, through the chairs of the council,
Do we have trees to replace those with?
the goal is to, for everyone we remove, we replace.
Yeah.
So that's always been our goal.
So we have the funding for the replacement
Yes,
trees?
yes.
Okay. I support it, Mr. Chairman. I have a saw in my truck, in my car, and I trim trees myself. I used to carry a chainsaw, and then they thought it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so I thought I better not do that. So, but I do trim trees myself. I'm very proficient in it. So, but I'm not, but you can't hire me to do this, okay? So, but we have to trim trees. Thank you very much.
Councilman Casey, and then Councilman Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, to the Chief or the Assistant Commissioner. This morning, we've talked about the education part of this, for educating our staff regarding this. And now you're saying that this is going to be contracted, this is work that's going to be contracted
It's
out.
going to be, through the chairs of the council, it's going to be a dual effort.
So I know this morning, because there's a city match to this, right? So it's going to be a total of 96,000. So then, Mr. Chairman, to the Commissioner, the Assistant Commissioner, the Chief, how much of that is going to be contracted out, and how much of that is going toward the education or teaching our current employees how to do this work?
I'm not sure right now, I need to get it.
Okay. Commissioner, I'm sorry, Commissioner. I apologize.
So, Ms. Majesco, could you make sure that we get that follow-up from Councilman Casey?
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. All right, Councilman Carey Torrey.
Thank you, Chair. Just briefly, if I may, without objection, being added as a sponsor to 991, please.
I would ask
Lindsay.
Leslie, McCormick. All right. All right. Any other questions for
Chairman, our resident tree expert,
I'm waiting to
Spencer,
see
you
if she
want
wants to add to
to sponsor
this.
this?
This is a tree ordinance, not an individual.
Yes, thank you.
Please add Councilman Spencer. Leave it to as well. All right. Okay, seeing no other questions, ordinance number 991-2025 stands approved. Please add those supports. All right, thank you. Last for this one, or no? I don't, yeah, I think this one's you guys as well. This is, you guys don't have the land. Who has the land? 996. 820. 820. Trying to get you guys out here, but I don't see it. But was it introduced and passed? 820. Will somebody show me where 820 is? I don't see 820. Oh, so that's in public works. Okay, so 820 in the public safety is not in my box, I didn't see it. Yeah, so I have to public safety. Okay? All right, thanks. All right. So the next one that we have is ordinance number 996-2025 by Councilmembers Harrison and Griffin by departmental request, an emergency ordinance authorizing the Director of Community Development. Is the Director of Community Development here? I will come back. I don't see the Director of Community Development here, or you, did I have that?
Just extend the chair.
If someone wants to contact the Director of Community Development, then we can do that piece. All right. Next is ordinance number 964-2025 by Councilmembers Harsh, Bishop, and Griffin by departmental request, an emergency ordinance giving consent to the city of Cleveland to the Director of Transportation of the state of Ohio for replacing the eastbound IR-480 entrance ramp at Ridge Road and to authorize one or more agreements necessary to make the approval. Director.
Mr. Chairman, so today we have an ordinance related to an ODOT project, and Rick Swiatkowski did such a great job this morning explaining it. I'm going to defer it over to him. Manager Swiatkowski.
Thank you. To the Chair, this project, ODOT will be selling in the not too distant future with construction starting April of next year. Basically, they did the exit branch by Ridge Road, eastbound or westbound. Eastbound or westbound, now do the entrance ramps, eastbound and westbound. There's now a construction project. Total cost of about $2.3 million. The city does not have any funds in this project, all of that.
All right. Councilman Bishop, good with this? 964, this is the Ridge Road piece. 964, 2025.
Yeah, Mr. President, we fully support this pass.
All right, thank you. Have you talked with Councilman Harsh?
Yes, sir, and he's in support.
Okay. All right. Seeing no other questions, ordinance number 964-2025 stands approved. Please sign on.
Mr. President?
Yes. Councilman.
Miscellaneous?
Miscellaneous. Councilman Blessing, is your miscellaneous as well?
Yes.
Or is it presented to you?
Just let the chair go.
Okay, so the chair go first, and then Councilman Blessing.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a park that was renovated by MOCAP about a a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, Dove Park. I think I spoke with somebody a couple of different times about my sign. We renovated the park, we did an excellent job, but we never put a sign up for the park, and I keep getting requests from the same individual about a sign for the Dove Park playground. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, I'll get you an update on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Michael Bliss.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A lot of comments to the director, Mr. Switalski. On the ODOT responsibility, is there a map, is there some type of diagram as pertains to I-90 as to what exactly ODOT's responsible for and what I have this ongoing issue with them about the ramps. And it's where the ramps are coming off the marginal roads or going from the marginal roads. Who's responsible for that? I'm having these issues where I've got these holes right on the edge of the ramp, right near what I would call city right-of-way. But I have this ongoing battle. The ODOT doesn't want to take responsibility. But we know what we're responsible for and what they are.
To the chair, to the council member, so it needs to be unique in certain situations, so we understand what we're particularly looking at. We can check that out, because certain responsibilities are ours, and other ones are ODOT. So if we know exactly where you want us to go.
South Waterloo Road, the entrance ramp to get on I-90 going east. There are big ruts and holes right along the ramp. And it's, I know what concern about that. So thank you, somebody did want that. I have this ongoing thing with ODOT. No, that's not our job, we're not going to go back and forth, so thank you very much.
We'll take a look into that.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions regarding this legislation? Was that 964?
Yes.
Any questions for 964-2025? Seeing no other questions, 964-2025 stands approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to finance, and once again, if someone can talk to DPS or talk to community development, there is a piece that we have for community development that they need to have someone here at 996-2025.
I touch it.
Right, thank you. Okay. All right, the first one is ordinance number 970-2025 by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request an emergency ordinance to make additional appropriations of $1,800,000 to the special revenue fund. Revenue.
Through the chair of the committee, so the price of rock salt has gone up substantially since we budgeted and since the beginning of the year. So this is a request to transfer $1.8 million to purchase that rock salt for provision of streets. Most of these funds are being taken from other places in public works, with $500,000 coming from finance from savings from the Department of Assessments and Licenses. That is outlined in ordinance 971-2025 on today's agenda.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, why the spike in rock salt? What was I thought that we work with the state, and I thought that we have a fixed rate with the state, and that we usually do that in increments of years, not year by year.
Through the chair of the council person, we do work through the state. The state is raised their rates for this year, and streets informed us that it's almost a double. We have the place to order now, so we have the rock salt on hand when it starts to start. So the prices really went off through the state on this.
I get that. I'm just wondering, has anybody done an assessment with the state to say why? I mean, it's hard to get to a multi-year agreement or develop into an agreement, and then someone just arbitrarily just starts jacking up your rates. So I just really want to understand that. I think the director there is one.
Yes. Thank you for looking if I can show interest. Thank you. So I do have a lead here. This is just one I agree with you, Council. So you can see, Council President, that contract, the statewide contract, that it happens every 2 years. So we're up now for the new one, and you can see how the prices are distributed throughout the counties. Some counties got higher, and some got lower. It's depending on how that contract is done. And so, in anticipation of that, that's what we're going to do.
So that goes back into my original question. It looks like when Cargill industry here, more than the companies. It looks like Cargill actually had a significant increase in that.
Yes, and then that, again, that is a contract that they use with the state of Ohio. And we, we just were on board with that contract. So whatever happens with that contract, we're a part of it.
They don't take into consideration logistics and how far they have to take it. I mean, I'm looking at, for example, it takes a longer route to get to Stark County, but they pay less than Cargill's right here on our shores.
To be honest with you, Chair, I can't explain why that happens. So we have to be able to look at the nuts and bolts of their contract, but I can't answer right now.
So we usually handle this purchase fees, just strictly your commissioner states, Mr. Scott. So here's what I would like to do, Mr. Majesto. During operational management, I'd like to understand how to make that assessment. And it got to be some kind of way that we're justifying that just because somebody passing on prices doesn't mean that we might need to go with a different provider, or do we need to challenge the state's prices? I'm just interested in how you can jack somebody's price up by twice the amount, and nobody can give a justification. That just doesn't seem smooth to me. Doesn't seem right, but I'm just curious. Okay? All right, thank you. And if we can get a copy of that jury, okay?
Maybe I can email this to her.
Yes, email to Ms. Majesto, his staff of this committee. Okay? Okay, any other questions regarding ordinance number 970-2025? Councilman Brian Casey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To the Director, are we currently under contract with ODOT?
So, for the chair, to the council, this is a cooperative agreement. So we advise all that, we tried to do it on our own in the past. Prices were a lot more. So the cooperative is typically a lower price for us, but that contract is for this state.
All right, Mr. Chairman, to the Director, when is our co-op up with them?
So this one is through 2026, so they usually go by biannual contract.
Okay, so if this co-op agreement doesn't end until 2026, correct? Why are you here now? Why don't we just include this in the budget for 2026?
We have to make, through the chair to the council, we have to make the purchases now. The way the contract works is you make them now, because that's the way they set it up. Because they're making all their allocations, so we have to do it now before the appropriations.
And Mr. Chairman, to the Director, we didn't see this coming.
No.
And I did not get the information.
Now, through the chair to the
It was
council,
also.
we did not see this until after our budget was passed. So we allocated for this if we had known this was coming, but this didn't come until, I want to say, through the chair to the council, proper. I want to say it was in June when we found out.
All right, so Mr. Chairman, to the Director, we budgeted, correct, in 2020, in the 2025 budget that we passed in January, we passed a budget that included this co-op agreement that we're currently in for the 2025-2026 cycle.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, through the chair to the council, and that, the rates at that time were $49.98. And then after this change in the chair to the council, the rates went up to $63.99.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, to the Director, when we passed the budget in February 2025, the administration was under the assumption that this price would not go up, correct? And that we were going to keep that same price for 2025, 2026. All right, and then Mr. Chairman, to the Director, if this council says no to this piece of budget, to the 1.8 million, what are our options?
Through the chair to the councilman, the only other option we would have is to have to, I think we signed our this contract, so I don't know if we can back up.
Well, Mr. Chairman, to the Director, with all due respect, don't say at one point that we've signed onto a contract, right? And because then you're obligated to a contract, and then come to us saying they're trying to change the terms of your contract, which is not a contract, you're telling us it's a co-op agreement. So we can't, you can't say one, saying we're in a contract because the contract would spell out the specific pricing of it, and then come to us saying they're changing the contract or co-op, whatever term you're using here, in the middle of it. Correct? the original question, Mr. Chairman, to the director, was what are our options? Can the city just go directly to Cargill across the street here and try to negotiate our own? Or, are we just saying, oh, the state is saying we need to do this, so we want to do it?
So through the chair to the council, if we don't have an obligation or a contract with them, we could go on our own and try to make our own contract. We've done that in the past, it's just been a lot more. But if we had to, we could.
All right, I mean, that's something, Mr. Chairman, to the director, that if they're going to raise it to that price, I mean, how much more would it be if we decided that we're going to contract with Cargill ourselves? I don't want to jump the gun on allocating $1.8 million to something that could be avoided if we just did the research or did the work before just saying, hey, the state says we're raising this now, you give us the money, and now you're here to ask for the money. If that makes sense. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, and I think, I break down the question, I think the biggest issue is the state. And that's where I think we had the problem a couple of years ago, that we had to push harder back on the state because they didn't want to do it with business with local companies, they didn't want to do it with local truckers. And, but if I'm hearing the director again, is that I think it's more or less in the contract, where we got a contract to protect ourselves better with the state, that there should only be a certain percentage of increase in that just not being able to jack it up $14 arbitrarily without giving any justification. I mean, I know they're going to probably say gas, they're going to probably say other things, but if that's the case, then some of those suburbs that I see, or some of those counties that I see on the list, that's further in central Ohio, should be paying larger expenses. So I don't know why there's a discrepancy, but somehow they need to explain that. I know Mr. Gentile wants to explain that, but that's something that Mr. Juster, that I think we're going to need to part in operational, so that we can try to understand that the city can do a little better. Because what I don't want to do is not pass this, and then in another month, as I said, another month, winter is here, and then another month, we don't have enough salt, and people are like, why are the roads salt? So I just want to understand how we're making that decision, but I think that's more of an operational thing. Mr. Gentile.
Yeah, to the chair of the committee, this is a 2-year contract, so 25 and 26. So the old contract was $40 million, and it was. That's all, the state bid these out. I can't speak to why Central Ohio is less than Northern Ohio. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me either. They do bid this out competitively, and we would also have to bid it out competitively if the city wanted to do it itself, which they couldn't do. We would have to just put out a bid that would have to be publicly bid, sealed bids, goes to commodity. That's something we could do. Mr. Laird said that in the past we've done that, but usually it's most of the time it's higher than the water.
All right, Mr. Felicity.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, to the director and to the finance director, I just want to get some clarification. So the 1.8 million, is that the total amount we're going to spend for salt, or is that just a portion?
That's through the chair to the council, that's the additional amount.
So the total amount would be what?
So right now, we're currently at, through the chair to the council, we got 2.2, so that'd be about 4 million.
About 4 million for salt this year. Do you know how much we have left over that are in our stockpiles?
Through the chair to the council, probably about maybe 5,000 or 10,000 pounds. We use a lot of salt, so we have to stock back up. Our requirement is about 70,000 pounds. So yeah.
Okay, and the dollar amount you gave us was 63, what was that per ton? $63.99 per ton.
Yes.
And that's what, and so we paid ODOT directly, or how does that work?
Yeah, so through that contract, no, we actually paid through the chair to the council, we actually paid the supplier, but the contract works for the state.
Okay, so ODOT negotiates the dollar amount for all municipalities.
Through the chair to the public service.
So we will spend this year approximately $4 million for salt.
Through the chair to the council, so we have the contract gives us up to 70,000. We can do less, we can do 63. So we can do either a low 4 million or a high 4.4 million.
And we paid and our previous amount per ton is how much?
49,090 per ton.
So I think that's important for the viewing public to understand what it costs the city, i.e. the taxpayers, to pay for some of the most, what we would want to say, most of the fundamental products that we have to buy. I mean, salt is salt, but if you don't have it, you got a problem, especially in ice conditions as we experienced last year with the deep freeze. So formally, and my other last question is, have all the salt domes been repaired?
Through the chair to the council, we have, no, there are, I believe, 2 that are still probably going to be done for next year, but this year we have done 2, and there's 2 that are in the works right now, so.
Okay, but even the ones that need to be repaired, is our supply of salt pretty much safe?
Through the chair to the council, yes, so the salt will be safe, it's just, we will actually have it, a longer life of those companies.
Okay. So again, to the director, to the finance director, repairing the salt domes are important because salt melts, and if there's water penetration, it's like we're throwing our money in the lake. And so I want to make sure that there's because we've been talking internally about capital repairs of city buildings, and we really have to step back and really assess where we're at, maintaining our city buildings, our city structures, et cetera. Because in the long run, it'll commercially either pay now or pay later. And unfortunately, we pay much later all the time at a higher cost. So again, I want to reinforce to both of you gentlemen and to the administration that we got to get the salt domes repaired and make sure that they are fully stocked going into this winter. You're telling us at the table it will be fully stocked.
Through the chair to the council, if we are doing this, we will.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions regarding 970-2025? Seeing no other questions, 970-2025 stands approved. Please sign on. Thank you. Next one is 971-2025 by Councilmember Griffin, by Department of Request, an emergency ordinance to provide for the transfer and amendment of $1,800,000 within the general fund. Director.
Yeah, through the chair of the committee, this is a companion piece to the one that was just passed. So this outlines where we're taking the funds or the savings from. So the majority of it is, 1.3 million of it is just being moved in Public Works to pay for this, and then the additional 500,000, since Public Works did not have enough savings, is being provided by Finance, the Department of Assessments and Licenses, to make Public Works whole.
All right. Are there any questions, Councilman Bishop, regarding 971-2025? Any other questions, Councilman Bishop?
No question.
All right. Any other questions regarding 971-2025? Seeing no other questions?
Well, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Valencia.
Yeah, just briefly for being public, explain what transpired.
So,
I mean, to the director.
yeah, Director, can you just tell the public so that they can know that we didn't just
Yeah.
double book or double bill to 1.8 million? I don't how to just tell how that transfer took place.
Yeah, so through the chair of the councilman, we actively looked for savings in other places in Public Works. They had some savings for salaries because not all of their positions were filled
Yes.
throughout the year. So we used some of that savings, also some other expenses that they had that, came in cheaper than what we had budgeted. So we used that. However, they didn't have enough total savings to cover the 1.8. Finance also had some personnel-related savings because not all salaries were paid out, so we took $500,000 out to support Public Works on this.
So, Mr. Chairman, so in essence, again, this is a transfer ordinance, correct?
Through the chair of the councilman, that's correct.
But so why would we wait till, as we normally do, transfer ordinance?
Through the chair of the councilman, because we want to make sure we have the funds available to buy this all as soon as possible with winter approaching.
Okay, so you didn't, were any critical positions left unfilled in public service?
Through the chair of the councilman, no critical positions. Obviously, we want to make sure that our vacancies get filled in a timely manner. We just happen to have some that we can pull from some savings from, but no critical positions from it.
Okay, so I keep, because I'm going to keep asking, so going into winter, we're going to have our full complement of snowplows, drivers, all the support personnel that we need in light of the action we're taking here. Correct?
Through the chair, Councilman, none of these funds are coming from the streets, and that's where the
No, I understand.
so many people we pay on the streets, so. And this is savings that we had from vacancies from January until now. So these vacancies, we will not take these out next year, these divisions, we're taking them out of, to be able to fill these next year. We're putting them back, we're not taking them out permanently.
Okay.
Just the savings from January.
But Mr. Gentile, you know the concern of the council, is that you just hit on it, positions that were not filled. And so, as I said in one of our previous piece of legislation that came up here, is that I don't believe we have enough personnel. And I don't believe we have enough equipment in some of these departments and divisions to do the job that we need to do. So again, I would just say administrations. I hear this all the time, that, well, we're taking funds from positions that are not filled, but I want to make sure positions are filled so I can get the services out to my residents. That's what I want. I'm not only my residents, but on behalf of my colleagues as well. So be mindful, again, you can pay now or pay later. Remember that. And unfortunately, pay later too often. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And on that point, just as Mr. Jesper was taking notes, one of the things we really will be watching for when we do operational plans is having a good understanding on if we allocated budgeted positions and you guys chose not to do it, and we're going to really be pressing to understand why those positions were not filled. I'm very interested in the areas where we ask for supplemental employment for recreation and recreation centers, and if those have been filled. So just want to let everybody know, if those have not been filled, then that's going to be heavily on the decisions we make as far as where we get priorities for the budget should be decided on here. Yeah? All right. Seeing no other questions, ordinance number 971-2025 stands approved. Last but not least is ordinance number 979-2025 by Councilman Griffin, by Department requesting emergency ordinance authorizing the Director of Finance to pay as moral claims the sums opposite the names of the claimants. Director.
Through the chair of the committee, so this is a request to allow payment of claims granted by the Moral Claims Commission. The total amount is $2,497.15. Just to break it down a bit, $800 of that was for an SM that was broken during landscaping and of the area. $297.15 was from damage to a vehicle, a resident vehicle from hitting a pothole. $100 was from a tree branch that fell onto a parked vehicle, and that's the deductible for this individual. And $800 was for another headstone that was damaged in the same way from mowing the lawn and landscaping. The final $500 was due to a water main break, and a resident tried to drive through that, and their car was damaged. So $500, I believe, is due to the fire rescue that would be called. So there was a rescue in that situation. It was $5,000 in damages, but $500 of that is the deductible. I also have Commissioner Romero here if there's any further questions on these individual or all of these instances.
Sure. And before we go to Commissioner Romero, or someone just talk about the composition of the committee, because I know that myself, Councilman Danny Kelly, and Councilman Joe Jones, and who else?
To the chair, yes, so it's the Chief Law Director Griffin, myself on behalf of the Department of Finance, Council President, and as mentioned, Councilman Jones and Councilman Kelly. So it's 3 members of council and 2 members of the administration.
Outstanding. Okay, Councilman Michael Bliss.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, to whoever can answer at the table, for the viewing public. So when they file, when someone believes their property has been damaged, or they know for a fact their property has been damaged by whatever, by inaction by the city or whatever, or fault of a city employee or driver or whatever, especially in the case of a vehicle you only reimburse when you decide to cover the deductible, is that correct?
To the chairman, to Councilman Valencia, first, it has to be reported. In
Yes.
this particular case, the pothole has to be reported prior to the incident occurring or the damage was to the vehicle. So if we don't have any notice at that point, then we don't have an obligation. In this particular case, there was notice. We do have a record of notice. We weren't able to get out there at the time to do that before the damage occurred to that vehicle.
Okay. But then you cover the deductible.
That is correct.
Okay. So for the viewing public, if there is a pothole on your street, you need to call 311. Correct? If there's a limb down in the street, or it's from a city tree hanging, you need to notify 311. I continue to try to educate my own residents as best as I can as to be proactive when they see something, say something, because I myself get these calls and these complaints after the fact, and I remind everybody to make a police report. And in many cases, or the majority, they did make a police report. They did take a picture. No, I didn't take a picture. So I think, again, to the viewing public, I just want everyone to be aware. If you see a road hazard, if there's something that's going to affect your neighborhood, your street, please report it in, because if someone does have the misfortune of driving into something or hitting something or being affected, unless there's a police report, unless there's documentation, your chances of getting something out of the Moral Claims Commission is like the council president parting Lake Erie. It ain't going to happen, okay? It won't happen. So again, I want to reinforce that to the citizens watching.
To Council President, Mr. Valencia, Councilman Valencia, the particular issue with the tree though was, it's going to be clear that the tree, after we went and inspected, the tree was dead. So that there is a difference between, because there could be a live tree that's healthy, but because of the storm, the branch came down, and that would not reflect on the city. In this particular case, we should have inspected and found that the tree was dead, and we did after the fact, and that's why we made that decision.
Well, and I think, again, you're educated public. Got a dead tree, report it. Report any tree line, any damage to that tree, limbs hanging, anything that needs to be reported. So again, we all have to be proactive. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any Councilman Brown for the case?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, to the director, a common theme that kept hearing was great deductibles, right? So what happens if we find the city's negligent, somebody does not have insurance, and there is no deductible to pay?
To the chair, to Councilman Casey, we take all that into account. Again, we look at a situation if they don't have insurance. First of all, it has to be, moral claims is where we don't have liability legally. So the law department vets that. And at that point, when we determine that there is no legal liability on the part of the city, at that juncture, the law department offers them the opportunity to go through the moral claims commission to be reviewed. Are we very austere? That is a fact. The fact is that when we look at all factors that come into play, and in that particular scenario, we are going to look at, there's been times when we pay tens of thousands of dollars. So we take every case on its own merits.
So if somebody has insurance, you're just going to pay the deductible. If they don't have insurance, there's a possibility that you could pay for the complete damage.
To the chair, to the councilman, that is true. Again, those, and I've been on this commission for 16 years, and it's probably a handful of times.
Okay, I was just wondering. Thank you.
Seeing no other questions, ordinance number 979-2025 stands approved. Please sign off. We have a few resources from on this. Look, you might have said around, I don't know what each, but we got personnel and then we got that. Okay? And then we do the miscellaneous finance. All right. Ordinance number 1069-2025 by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, an emergency ordinance to amend section 49 of ordinance number 194-2021 passed March 29, 2021, as amended by various ordinances relating to for various classifications. Director.
Thank you, Chairman and Committee. This piece is to amend section 49 for the rates for construction equipment operators and master mechanics. This is the one unique group in collective bargaining that the city does not actually have a direct agreement with this union. This comes from a master agreement that is reached, between the local 18 laborers and the MCE OLA. So we abide by the terms that they reach and pay our employees appropriately. Happy to answer any additional questions.
Thank you. Do you have any questions regarding ordinance number 1069-2025? Seeing no questions, ordinance number 1069-2025 will be considered by the full council tonight. Ordinance number 1070-2025 by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, an emergency ordinance approving the collective bargaining agreement with the Communication Workers of America, Local 4340, to amend section 23 of ordinance number 194-2021 passed March 29, 2021, as amended, relating to salaries for various classifications. Director.
Thank you again, Chairman. So this is correct to ratify the collective bargaining agreement reached between the city and CWA for the EMT supervisors, also known as the captain's unit. There's approximately 16 employees in this group. And just in terms of base wages, which I know is sometimes a question, came out to be 2.89, 2.96, and 2.89 respectively in each of the years of the collective bargaining agreement, with some additional changes, but again, happy to answer any questions.
All right, thank you. Do we have any questions regarding 1070-2025? Seeing no questions, ordinance number 1070-2025 will be considered by the full council tonight. Ordinance number 1087-2025 by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request of emergency ordinance to amend section 37, 39, and 43 of ordinance number 194-2021 passed March 29, 2021, as amended, relating to salaries for various classifications. Related to
Thank you, Chairman. This is a piece as a result of some additional due diligence done by the Civil Service Department in relation to the analysis of positions, specifically Article 37. This is to amend the salary range for the chief architect, primarily increasing the maximum salary and also making the minimum salary pursuant to the market. Sections 39 and 43 address the administrative manager classification. So again, upon civil service analysis in conjunction with the HR department, we determined that it would be best for the administrative manager position to be split into two administrative manager positions, thus creating a series. So there's, if you will, an entry-level administrative manager and an administrative manager 2. That, again, also includes an analysis of the salaries. The administrative manager setting their salary between $65,000 and $80,000. And then the administrative manager 2, which is a higher level administrative manager, going from $80,000 to $170,000. And then finally, project manager 2, we are proposing to remove the only project manager 2 position currently within the city, which is located in IT, and creating a general project manager 2 position that can be used by all departments. And again, this is, in an effort not to restrict this position to only one department that to be able to be used citywide and meet more general nature. And happy to answer any additional questions. Thank you.
All right, do we have any questions regarding 1087-2025? Seeing no questions, ordinance number 1087-2025 will be heard for full consideration amongst the council tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We do have one more piece, Director for Community Development. This is ordinance number 996-2025 by Councilmembers Harrison and Griffin by party on request. An emergency ordinance authorizing the Director of Community Development to enter into an amendment to contract number CT-8006-SG 2024-150 with Cuyahoga County Land Reutilization Corporation to change certain terms of the agreement. Director.
Thank you, President. So this ordinance amends ordinance 145-2024 and 740-2025 to enable the county land bank to modify its contract with us. As the ordinance is currently written, it requires that 54 homes be rehabbed in wards 4, 10, and 15, which was done in error, as the original scope of this project specified that 24 of the 54 homes would be citywide. This amendment would fix that issue and allow the 24 homes to be new construction, if done in partnership with a nonprofit like Habitat for Humanity. So this is one of the outgoing pieces that Tony Bago was being through prior to his meeting. I will answer as many questions as I can in his absence.
Sure. This was actually relieved by Councilman Harrison, and he actually reached out to me to ask that I put this on the agenda, said this is a very important time sensitive. Councilman Michael Willis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, to the Director. So these are existing homes that are in the land bank?
So these are, through the chair, these are, I believe it's for targeted acquisition of vacant and abandoned properties for purposes of renovation program and for beautification pilot.
So then
County land bank, just to be clear.
So then they would go to Habitat.
This could be in partnership with an organization like Habitat, a nonprofit, yes.
Okay. And so do we know if Habitat is on board or not?
I was given Habitat as an example. I don't believe that they are in the contract, but it was given as an example. What I believe that this does is gives us some more flexibility that was originally baked into the intent of the program, that was missed in the actual original.
And then where would the funds come from the rehab structure?
Through the chair, this was an existing program, and I'm wondering if it was ARPA dollars. I want to say that it was originally ARPA dollars. There have been a few permutations, so I can't say that 100% confidence, Chairman, but I believe that these were ARPA dollars originally.
No, because, Mr. Chairman, I support that the concept of an asset might need to be added to. Because we need to rehab more homes. And I think my own observation is far too many homes being down in the city that had good homes that could have been put back to productive use had they been, had we had the county land bank and the sheriff's through foreclosure action, they acquired these structures rather than just letting them sit there and rot. We've seen all over the city. This stuff I drive around and I just say to myself, why is this home just sitting here? Why is it in this condition? But when we look at it, they're all tax delinquent. And to get them through that system is incredibly hard. That's something that we are going to have to collectively, at the end of this year, going into next year, the council and the administration, we're going to have to figure out how do we partner with the county for the county to move on these abandoned structures. They just sit there and sit there and sit there. And I look at them constantly, and I have one near me. And I just keep asking myself, why does this house just sit there? So, again, Mr. Chairman, I support it wholeheartedly and ask why I need to add to the legislation. Thank you.
Thank you.
And through the chair, just want to mention that at our last cluster meeting on Wednesday, we actually had the executive director, Ricardo Leon, come to cluster with some of his staff, including Dennis, and we are continuing to strengthen that relationship. This is probably the strongest that our relationship as an administration has been over many years.
And let's hurry up and get that Penrose and East Cleveland development off the ground, because they have more changes. All right. Any other questions regarding
Chairman.
the ordinance? Councilman Kevin Bishop?
What wards were those in? You said the wards.
Through the chair, so wards 5, 10, and 14, that this is to expand to all the wards, which was the original intent for a portion of these homes.
And how many homes is going to be renovated?
Subsidize the renovation of a minimum of 54 homes in strategically targeted areas to create affordable housing for the general public. So 54 homes, and a minimum of 24 for new construction housing units through the chair.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, seeing no other questions, ordinance number 996-2025 stands approved. Please sign it on. Once again, everybody, we're going to adjourn. We're going to start, yeah, miscellaneous. So miscellaneous finance, if you come to the table, I think Councilman Casey has a couple of things.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, to the Director, I'm just curious, right? Over the summer, a lot has changed aesthetically looking here in City Hall. There's been a lot of signage. New signage has been changed. Furniture that's been around, we see some more art, and I don't know if those are permanent art installations. Can you tell us how much it has cost to redo all this signage? Where the money has come from?
Through the chair to the councilman, that's something that I have to look up. I don't want to give you a bad number on the top of my head, but we can follow up with that information.
Would that be Public Works?
I am not sure. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Through the chair to the councilman, I think that we look at.
Okay, or there is money that went into transformative parts. So the art pieces may be for the transformative art, money that we put aside, and then the actual signage may be okay. But that's just my guess, that's what the administration tells us, okay?
Can you, if you could possibly just find that out for us, let us know. I'm hearing a bunch of different big numbers, and I just don't want to believe that's what they were, that's what they are, because that would cause a problem if it was that much. But if you could just find that out for us and let us know, we'd appreciate that.
Through the chair to the councilman, we'll let you do that.
Thank you.
Someone, I still want them to verify it, but our policy staff just did the digging on it and said that there was $658,000 for signage. So where that came from? That's what I got to look for. Let's let the administration tell us that.
Yeah, if you could.
But it looks like it's a group called the Figelli Brothers, F-E-G-A-L-I. So it looks like they got the contract to do it for about $658,000.
And do we know if any legislation came to council regarding?
I have to look that up. I don't have that answer.
I don't remember any legislation coming to regarding. So if you could just, we're curious to know what this cost, and if you could let us know if it went out to bid or whatever. You know, the whole community. Thank you. Dave.
Councilman Michael Bliss.
Mr. Chairman, I'm a little shell-shocked. 600 for signage?
That's what I got. Let them verify that, but that's what our staff was able to pull up.
Does that include renaming the basement of the cabinet level?
Let me say this. That's what my staff pulled up. Let them verify with us so that we can have the accurate number. But what they were able to pull up is the contract with the Figelli Brothers was that amount, and they're the ones that are responsible for the signage.
Well, Mr. Chairman, last time I looked, anything over $50,000 has to come before Cleveland City Council.
So that's what we need to say.
And so, if that number is correct, that's absolutely shocking. Shocking and disturbing in light of everything else we need around here. I mean, I got bungee cords holding my door together, my outside door. I got bungee cords. And if it rains hard, I got pools of water inside my office. Where are we with the renovation of the outside of City Hall? Can somebody tell us where we're at on that?
Through the chair to the councilman again, in terms of construction and progress on that would be more of a vocab thing. But in terms of the finances, again, I can't verify $658,000 at this moment. Let us go back, we'll look up the amounts.
Okay, I need to know, respectfully through the chair, through you and the staff, I want to know where we are with the renovation, outside renovation of City Hall. and what the dollar amount is as of this point, and what the total dollar amount was for that contract. And then again, besides the signage, and if that's what the signage costs, I don't know if it's that gold leaf, must be gold leaf to sign this, okay? I need to understand what the other cost is for all this furniture, and everything else that's been done on the inside, because again, I want to reiterate that I will, that firehouses that are in deplorable condition. With the help of the chair and my colleagues, we were able to pass the 21 million to start to repair the 5 police districts. But if you go into these firehouses and into them and look at the crappy furniture they have and the conditions that they're in, and then we're spending that kind of money for signage inside the city hall, that's correct. Something, we got to get our priorities straight. We got to get our priorities straight. And I'm one of those who believe that anything over $50,000 better come back to the council, because if not, there's got to be pain at the pump here. That's not the way we operate. I want to thank the chairman and Councilman Casey for attempting to address this issue. And I hope we can get to the bottom of this, Chairman, quickly.
We'll get to the bottom of it quickly, and what I would implore both of you guys to do is, one, verify if that is the amount. If that's not, if that is the amount, where did the money come from? And then number 2, I think if we can make sure, if we can follow up, Mr. Jesro, if we pass any legislation that actually supports this. I'm not sure if there's an omnibus piece, like for example, is that cost included in what we did for the building, when we did the overall building? I'm just trying to make sure how that actually came about and how that legislatively justified. Yeah, sure. All right. Seeing no other questions, this committee of Finance, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion is adjourned. Once again, everybody, we are going to start at 7 sharp, and we are not allowing excused absences unless it is some kind of extreme emergency that can be verified. All the council is expected to be here. Okay? Thank you so much. I didn't know who else to hear this money.
Contract